So our thoughts on the Lowen Sky lift from yesterday. Well, we started off full of excitement. We dashed down to the dock. We were told by Alden Adventures that you were better going in the afternoon, and they were probably right in the end. But what they didn't tell us, and what nobody has put on YouTube, and it's not been apparent on YouTube from anybody else's films, is that there can be up to a 2-hour queue to actually get up the lift. So we went down, and of course Sue now has a wheelchair, and I had checked before and they said, oh yes, we have buses with wheelchair ramps, it's no problem at all. Except it was, because they only had one bus with a wheelchair ramp. The other bus, the wheelchair ramp was broken. The bus with the wheelchair ramp had gone on its break for an hour. So our 11:30 departure ended up being 1 o'clock, and in the end, one of the guys came from somewhere, and the red bus had come in with the broken ramp, and he went, why don't you use this one? And we said, it's got a broken ramp, we can't get on. And he went, oh, and he pulled the ramp out manually, and we got on. And we were a little bit worried, because if it's a 2-hour queue there and it's a 2-hour queue getting off again, we didn't really have that much time, and we were starting to think we were going to have to abandon it. Anyway, we took the risk, we got on the bus, and sure enough, when we got there was about a 20-minute queue. The guy on the lift said, oh, a good job he didn't come this morning, it was like 2-hour queue, and you go, okay. So Alden Adventures were right in that respect, don't go in the morning, but nobody has said there's going to be a huge queue. And I suppose when you've got 5,000 people trying to get on it, that's going to be obvious. But anyway, we managed to get up, and when we got up there we had a very nice time. The restaurant is beautiful. The weather wasn't brilliant, but it had forecast very bad low cloud and snow and rain and high winds, and actually we got none of that. We didn't get any of the high winds it predicted coming into the port, but what we did get, it was slightly misty and it started to snow, and we hadn't really banked on snow. We were thinking that it was going to be brilliant sunshine and beautiful views like everything we'd always seen on the YouTube videos, but it wasn't to be for us. Anyway, Sue and Lisa eventually finished up in the restaurant with a nice warm cup of tea, while me and Jeff decided to go for a wander in the snow, which was fun, and we got 1 or 2 good photos, and yeah, it was absolutely fine. Coming back down the lift, there was a horrendous queue again, all the way up into the little cafe, and it didn't take long. I would probably say half an hour or so. The cars hold about 45 people, I think, so they do shift them fairly quickly. Unfortunately, when we got to the bottom, it was red bus time again, and the driver, a nice chap, but his idea of getting the wheelchair on the bus was basically physically manually lift it on. It was a bit precarious at one point. We thought he was tipping over the wheelchair. I think Sue got a little bit scared. But we managed to get it on, and then at the other end, 1 or 2 of the other passengers and Jeff and myself lifted it off relatively safely. And it was just annoying, because I made the point of making sure that they had the wheelchair access in place, and it was faithfully told there was absolutely no problem, we've got lots of buses with wheelchair ramps. Well, not true. So all I can say is, if you've got a wheelchair, maybe set off a little bit earlier, and you're going to get in a queue anyway. Now the good thing is, when you get to the lift, if you've got a wheelchair, they actually take you up on the lift to the front of the queue, but you have to wait until, if you've got somebody in your party, they arrive in the queue so that you can rejoin them. Now I don't know what they do if you haven't got anybody else with you, unless they take the wheelchair on their own and they make you wait for the pusher, and I'm not sure that would work. Oh, anyway, all in all, we had a very nice time. Would I do it again? Yes, if the weather was better, and if we had longer and there wasn't a cruise ship in on the day. So that was Lowen Lift, and on to our next destination now is Alisund, I hope.